today we're going to use our scraps from our project to make other things. Stay tuned.
Look at the time, where does it go? So much to craft, so much to sew. Time is ticking, there's a buzz in the air. Need to get ready, no time to spare.
Good morning, gifted crafters. It's crafting time.
Worries on my mind, it's been a tough week. My life feels a void, there's something that I need. My supplies on the table, I grab a comfy seat. I need to craft to put my mind at ease. Crafting changed my life, it mends my soul. In my happy space, I'm in full control. It's crafting time, craft my troubles away. Give me a world of color to brighten up my day. Crafting videos on, searching what I can do. Sipping on my drink, feeling inspired and new. Crafting's good for the soul, it's so true. Bringing beauty into the world through. As I craft, my spirit starts to climb. It's not just a pastime, it's a state of mind.
Live from the Sunshine State in Miami, Florida, here is the Gifted Crafters Morning Show with Nancy.
Good time. Ooh, time to get our craft on. Ooh, time to have fun. Ooh, time to feel good.
Good morning, gifted crafters, and welcome back to the Gifted Crafters Morning Show. Good morning to everyone out there. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Nancy with GiftsHQ, and this is a channel where we just like to talk about anything crafty. So I am tuning in from sunny South Florida, so let's see where everyone else is from. We've got Bettina Fink from Tennessee. We've got Nancy from Boston. We've got Faker McFaig. Good morning to you. Jenny Owens. Good morning. Lisa Lilly from Richmond, Illinois. We've got Cindy Ball. Good morning to you. We've got Robin's Quilt Basket. Good morning. And we've got our friends from Canada here. Yay. We've got Deborah Bile from Northeast Ohio. And we've got Dorothy Hayes. Good morning to you. Let's see. Crafting on a Dime with Shay Shay. Good morning to you. All righty, let's see. Barbara Nance, good morning from Ohio. We've got Melinda, good morning to you. Jaws Mom, Lake Ridge, Virginia. Hey, Leslie. Let's see here. Renee, good morning to you as well. Georgette, good morning. Keisha from Middle Tennessee. We've got Joyce Adams, good morning. We've got River Rose from Tennessee as well. Lots of people from Tennessee. Good morning to Lori from Virginia. We've got Linda M. Good morning to you. We've got Marge. Good morning from Wisconsin. Awesome. And Heather Kaufman, yes, it is a happy Friday. Yay! We made it through the week. Awesome. Jackie Holman, good morning to you. Chris, good morning to you as well. Okay, guys. Not sure if I missed anyone. If I did, I'm truly sorry. I will be checking the chat for any questions or any updates on the way. So guys, we are getting really close to December. And yeah, we've got some elves kind of hanging around, just kind of reminding us that Christmas is just around the corner. So hopefully you're working on your projects. Everyone here is just really, really busy. Yeah, I know. We know, Santa. You're coming. So I know we're really, really busy here. We're trying to finish up our projects and get them out the door and in the mail, or maybe you're just getting ready to snuggle them up under the tree. In any event, I really thank you all for all of your support, and thank you for being with me on my little sewing adventure here this morning. Okay, so let's start off our day like we always do. We like to go ahead and give a little toast to everyone in the morning. So grab yourself a cup of whatever it is that you have in the morning, coffee, tea, soda, water, it really doesn't matter. Go ahead and raise your glasses nice and high, because we need to give a little toast. It's Friday. The weekend is here, and we are just, 2 weeks away from Christmas? Can you believe that? And yeah, you got a lot of things you got to get done. So here's to getting all your projects done this weekend and making a lot of progress, because we've got a lot to catch up on. And I hope that you guys are able to get in your crafts room and get some of that stuff done. So raise them nice and high. And of course, no worries. If you don't have a cup, we will pour you a cup. So let's go ahead and raise them high, and cheers to everyone. Here's to getting the projects done. Go ahead and grab your little swivel. Oh, that just feels great in the morning. We're gonna grab one more. Yes. Okay, cheers. Yeah, guys, cheers. Alrighty. So we've got our drinks. Let's go grab some snacks, shall we? Is anyone feeling a little hungry here? Yeah, we might grab a couple of snacks. So let's go ahead and roll out that food truck, because I think it's Friday and everyone wants to grab a little bit of extra stuff for the weekend, right? So go ahead and grab anything that you want. It's totally free, and you can pick anything you'd like, from cookies to any kind of muffins, croissants. We even got some bagels on there. So if you're looking for some bagels and cream cheese or something like that, we've got it. And yeah, there goes our little snowman. Yeah, hopefully he won't melt here in Florida. So I'm hoping he stays nice and fluffy. Alrighty, guys, we've got our drinks, we've got our snacks, and we're ready to go. Okay, good morning to Rebecca. Hey there, neighbor. How are you? Hope you're enjoying the weather that we're having. I know everyone up north is having all kinds of crazy weather. It's been a little warm down here, but we've had a couple of days that it's nice and cool, and we're expecting some really nice weather. It's about 77 degrees outside right now. So nice weather to be kind of outside. This is kind of our time to be outside without any mosquitoes. So this is our great, wonderful time to be down here in Florida. So, okay. Chocolate chip cookies and coffee and all kinds of goodies you guys are wanting. Okay, awesome. All right, so yesterday, if you didn't watch, we were making little gift bags. And so we made our little gift bag, and I went ahead and put the two little bears that I'm going to be putting on here. So I thought it'd be really cute so you could see kind of an idea. I may kind of get maybe some tissue paper or something to put behind it to kind of, accent it. I think it'll be really cute for two little girls that I think will really appreciate the little bears. So let's see. Oh, Cindy, you're taking a carrot for Santa's reindeer. It should be keep in the fridge. If I grab one every day, I will have one for each Santa's reindeer when they visit. Awesome. That's a great way to help kids eat their carrots, right? You guys take a little bite for one of the reindeers. Make sure it's good. You got to test them out. All right, so this is what we've made, and so very simple to do. We added little extra things like foam just to make sure it stays up, and we've got the little buckle here where I just kind of folded it on itself since I don't really need the handle because I have the two bears here. I kind of tucked it in and just kind of made it like this so they can use it afterwards. Once they take the bears out, then they can just use the little bag afterwards, and it has the little handle on it. So it'll be a nice place for them to kind of either put the bears away or other toys or other kind of little knickknacks that they can use around the house. And, you know, they're at an age that they just love little purses. So, you know, they would definitely love this. So they like the little purse afterwards. I may have to do an extra one to give to them. So they don't fight over the purses. But one of them is really small, so she's, you know, probably not interested in the purse just yet. But definitely, yeah. Cindy said, Nancy, it's a precious gift. The girls are going to love it. Very thoughtful of you. Oh, Cindy, yeah. I just love making stuff for people, so it just makes me really happy. So speaking of bags, I wanted to show you guys a bag that I had hanging on the wall. I kind of, you know, have all my purses on little hooks. And this is another one that I made. It's been a while. And this was a pretty interesting one. Let me move this out of the way here. I'll put my little ruler there. So this is one purse that I made. This was a Crafty Gemini pattern. And it was really nice because it really taught you how to do these pleats right here, right on the edge right here. So that was really nice. And it has an interior. So the outside is here. Let me show you the back. It's kind of the same. Okay. And then once you open it up on the inside, you've got a little pocket. You can see that here. You've got a little pocket on this end here. And I use this little sparkly type fabric with little different colors on it. And then for the pocket, it's kind of a tight fit since it doesn't have a zipper and it's pretty closed here. The opening is kind of narrow, which is okay. I like that. And then it has a nice little pocket here on the side here. So I thought that was pretty neat. I really liked how it came together. And then for the strap, of course, very similar to what we did yesterday, where we did the two threads right here. It's kind of more towards the middle for this one. And then I just sewed that all the way around and then just kind of anchored it here. Did a little box stitch here and here. And then that was it. I mean, it was a pretty easy pattern. It was a nice template that you would cut this out here. And this was all about curves, right? So this was all about making this curve right here and the pleats on a bag. So a little bit different of what I had done on regular bags. So yeah, it was really nice. You love the patchwork purse? Yeah, I did too. You like that purse? Love tag fabrics that use. Yeah, these were some nice fabrics I had on my stash. And again, this was a Crafty Gemini little course that she had, and she's a great teacher. So if you guys haven't checked her out, please do, because she does amazing, amazing work. Let's see, the edge of the pocket looks like special sewing. Will you do a close-up so we can see it better? Sure. Let me get this out of the way. And you wanted to see the edge of the pocket. Oh, the inside pocket. Okay. Okay, so here, see, the thing is that the purse has a narrow opening here. And this is the inside pocket. And so it just opens up this way like this. Can you guys see that? And it's just a simple, I can kind of turn it inside out. That might help. Let me turn this inside out so you could see the inside. This is the inside of the purse. And you can see I just did down on the bottom. There's my stitching, and where is the pocket? Here's the pocket. It's a simple pocket. No zippers or buttons or anything like that. It's just like a little slit right here. So I use the outside fabric to do the pocket on the inside. So, I mean, I guess you could kind of flip this inside out. No, actually you can't because of the handles. Yeah, so this is the inside. And then let me turn it back around. And then you have the outside. But it's a really nice pattern. I really love this purse. The only thing, if I do this again, this is kind of narrow. I just like it a little bit wider. So I would just make this just a little bit wider. Not too wide because then, you know, things will start falling out. But yeah. You zigzag the patches on. No, no, no. No, this is actually just the fabric. It looks like a zigzag, right? But no, this is just the fabric. See that? Yeah. Good morning from East Texas, Melissa. Good morning. So yeah, really, really nice. I think it's a cute one. It really helped you kind of learn how to do this curve right here. And the pleats were really the main items that were taught on this for techniques on this type of bag. So I really like this one. This one is one that I kind of use a lot. So pretty cool, but wanted to kind of show you that. And today we're going to be looking at all of the scraps that we had from the little gift box that we made. So if you recall, we cut out a ton of little squares off of that big piece in order to make this box. And so I thought, you know, this is just, it's such a lot of a waste to me. And I thought, you know, we can definitely do something really quick and easy with this. And I think that's something that we can do right away. But I also wanted to let you know, remember we talked about the strap right here and how we made this strap. Another thing you can do with it is just get a ribbon. If you didn't want to do the strap and maybe you didn't want to make it permanent and you just wanted to have it as just a basket. Now I would probably do one that's about half this size, but this is just what I grabbed this morning. You could do a ribbon and then just tie a cute little bow here on the end if you wanted to do that. And then just have this as a little bow here for the actual bag. So if you're giving it as a gift. So don't forget to just look at your ribbons because they've got some really pretty ribbons out there and you can do some really amazing things here to kind of jazz it up and make it really look like a gift. So if you wanted to do that, or if you just wanted to add the ribbon on top, you could do that as well. Do a nice little bow and then just kind of attach it here and then they can just take it off later. So check your bows out to see if you can make a cute little attachment here, because I just might do that later on and see if I can attach something here just to make it look a little bit more snazzy, right? And then don't forget, if you have labels, maybe you have a company and you want to put a label on it, you can also add a label to this here, or you can just make your own label or a little message that you may want to tag right there, and then you can hide that stitch that we made that goes across. You can kind of just put that on top and just hide it. So, you know, anything to kind of make it a little bit unique and customize with your own little messages would be good too. Okay, so those are the two things I wanted to show you on that. And so now we have all of these scraps here. And so all of these scraps can be a bunch of different things, right? We've got some foam on here, and I don't want to waste the foam, so I wanted to kind of make something else. So a couple things that you can do. First of all, you can make a false bottom, right? So if you're wondering what a false bottom is so you have your fabric, you have your little gift box here. And so for the bottom here, if you wanted to reinforce this, maybe you're putting something a little bit more heavy in here. If you want to reinforce this bottom and make sure it stays nice and square, you would insert this on the bottom, right? You would put it inside the bag, and this is what would be called a false bottom. And it kind of reinforces on the bottom and stabilizes to help it maintain the square shape. So that's something that you can make really easy with this. Good morning from Wyoming. Joanna, good morning. Thanks for joining. Awesome. Okay, so if you want to, all you have to do on that, and it doesn't have to be any pretty stitching or anything because it's going to be on the inside in the bottom, and you just want to support it. So you can basically just take your 2 pieces of fabric and your little foam, leftover foam that you have, and just kind of do this and just kind of lay it right on top. I would recommend maybe cutting the foam just a slightly, maybe do about a 1/4 inch on each side, a little bit smaller, just so that it fits nicely on the inside. You can do about a 1/4 inch on each end and cut that off. And then what you could do is just line up your fabrics right on top. And you would do right sides together. This one is, you know, it doesn't matter which side for me. So you can do right sides together, and then you can go ahead and just sew them all the way around. And then if you sew them all the way around, you're going to want to leave just a little bit of an opening, right? And then you would just turn it inside out. And so you would have it just like that. Okay. And so then that would be your little false bottom. If you don't have trouble turning things inside out, especially with foam, leave yourself a generous amount of space that you can flip it inside out. But if you have problems doing that and you don't want to flip things, then you can just take this, and if you don't care about your stitching showing, just go ahead and leave this open like this, with this, your top fabric and your bottom fabric in the right position. Make sure that you cut your foam on the inside, and then just go ahead and stitch it. Now you can do a really nice decorative stitch if you want it to show, especially on this part here where I have a solid here. You may want to just kind of do a nice decorative stitch so it shows here. Or you can just do a regular straight stitch, and then this would be all binded together. You would have the raw edges showing, but it really wouldn't matter because you're putting it as a false bottom, and no one's going to see it unless they take it out of the bag, right? So that's something that you can do, and that helps to reinforce the gift bag, and it'll maintain that square shape in the end. And if you're putting something really heavy in it, you know, it'll help to maintain that on the bottom. So again, we have the little handle, so when you pick it up, you know, whatever you have, that teddy is gonna kind of, since it is fabric and just foam, it's just gonna kind of bend a little bit on the bottom. So, you know, this may help a little bit to maintain that shape. So all depends what you're gonna use it for and what you're gonna put inside. So you may wanna consider doing something like that to kind of do that thing. Another thing you can do as a gift, if you're going to do a little gift bag, maybe you want to just put a whole bunch of little coasters in there. And so we have this already in place. You can just make square coasters. I would make them a little bit smaller, right? Maybe you want to use your pinking shears to do the edges if you don't want to turn it inside out. Or again, going ahead and sewing it all the way around, leave the little opening, turn it inside out, and then just close it up, and you can have a cute little coaster on here, and then you can put the coasters inside the bag that would match it, so they can put it away when they're not using it. So wouldn't that be cute? Now you can make them as squares, but you can also make them as circles, right? So you can grab any circle item. Like here we have the little ribbons that we were talking about. I can just take this right here and put it right on top, and then just trace my circle all the way around, and then grab my scissors and I can make circle coasters, right? So just make them all little circles. So you can do that as well. And if you wanted to, you could embroider on here little messages, right? You can have little messages, and these can be like little note cards that you can give out. So you can just embroider little messages on here in any kind of a font that you have that'll fit into this area. And then you can either cut them out with pinking shears, or you can sew this, and it can be just little messages that you put in a box, right? And then just little heartfelt messages, maybe 12 days of Christmas. Yeah, decorative rotary blades. Exactly, Lisa. And I have a few. Let me see if I can pull them out. I had a few that I was looking at. Here are, I've got a lot of my blades. Let's see. These are a lot of the blades that I have. If you want, we can kind of test some of these out so you guys can see what it looks like. This is a scoring blade. So for those of you who are, especially in bag making or garment making, you sometimes need to score a fabric. And so you can kind of do it with some kind of marking tool, but they also have a blade that's a scoring blade. And so if you wanted to use that, you can just use the scoring blade. So it won't cut your fabric, but it will score it so that you can see whatever the line is that you're needing to do. So that's one type of blade. So let's kind of go through them. It's really simple to change them. These are the ones I have here are for 45 millimeter. I'm just going to use my blade right here, and I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to just remove this here. I'm going to take off my blade. I'm going to stick this over to the side, and we'll do a couple here. See if I can open some of these. Okay, this one is called the Wave. And you can pick up these anywhere. I actually picked these up at Hobby Lobby a long time ago, and they had a whole bunch of blades on sale, and they were like $1.49, $1.79. They were very cheap at the time. And the price goes up and down. Just check on Amazon. Okay, so we're going to sacrifice this one right here. Let's move all of this over to the side, just so you get an idea. Okay, now if you still wanted to use your ruler, you can do that. So you would just lay that down here. Or let's just say we want to cut that piece off. I'm using my blade just like I would any other. So I'm just going to hold it here, and then I would go ahead and you would just cut it. You may want to do it twice. I didn't do it very hard, so let me just do it again. It's not very good if you do it again, but let's see here. Having a hard time because of the foam and my hand. Okay. There we go. And so it looks a little bit like a wave. Let me move this over so you guys can see. Now I did it a couple of times. Let's go over to the dust cam. And here we go. So you see that little wave. You see the peaks and the valleys coming through on here. You do have to put a little bit of pressure when you're doing it, but you can see that right here. It really makes a very pretty edge on there. I think it's a little bit better than actually using the pinking shears. I struggle with those pinking shears sometimes, but I'm going to remove this just so I can do another one without the ruler or anything. Let me see if I can do it. That makes it a little bit easier for you guys to see. Okay. There we go. So you get a pretty cut there. And it almost makes it look like a stamp. So imagine what you can do here is you can make a little bit of embroider something like a snowman or something really small here, and then just cut this out here And then you would just do a stitch, a little box stitch all the way around, or maybe a little decorative stitch. You can get really cute. They look like little stamps, and you can make little messages out of them. Very, very cute. Hey, good morning. Good morning to Chris. Good morning to you. Yeah, get wrist strain when sewing too much. Yeah, I guess that's what it was, right? Yeah, it could have been. It's just a little bit of hurting on here. So I put the little brace on, and it'll go away. It'll be fine. All right. Hello to Millie. Good morning to you. Welcome. And so, guys, that is the first strip that you can make. So that one is called the wave, but there are other ones out there that do different designs. So let's take a look at some of the other ones here. This one is a little bit of a smaller wave. So let's take a look at what the difference is on this one. I'm going to open this one up here. And you can use all of these tools to make so many different projects with these scraps that you have left over from this project. I mean, there's just so many things that you can make, and it's pretty easy to do by just removing the blade and replacing it with a different one. So, okay, let's try this one here and see what it looks like. And let's get that in here. Let's see. Got to do the little wiggle. If I can get that in. There we go. And then we'll just screw the bottom part here. Okay. I'm going to just do it on the fabric. It's just easier for me with my hand. So let's see what this one looks like. Okay, so this one is a little smaller wave. Let's bring us over to the desk cam so you can see that here. So a little bit of a smaller wave. If you don't want it so pronounced here, you get a little bit of a smaller wave on there. Very, very cute. But it's just a nice way to, you know, if you're going to have your raw edges showing, you might as well give it a little bit of a pizzazz to it, right? Why not? I mean, it just really makes it very, very cute. So that one, we had the big wave, and then we have the smaller one. Let's get crazy. Let's just go out and do another one. So this one is called the pinking blade. And let's see, this one is the wave blade. It's just a duplicate. And then, of course, you have your scoring. I've never tried the scoring one out, so maybe this is a good time to try to check that one out, because that one can be a little bit different. I just usually use my scoring tool. If you use your Scan and Cut or your Cricut, you know, I know the Cricut has a scoring tool, and you can definitely use that for your project. But let's see what this one does that makes it a little bit different. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take this one out here, and I'll put the new blade in, and then I will just wiggle it until it comes out on the other side. Nope. Come on, I can see it here. There we go. Alrighty. And some may be a little bit more difficult to change out. Depends on your rotary cutter. Oh, Marge says Embrilliance has a new sale. Oh, using Thankful For You code. Awesome. So definitely, if you get an upgrade, you know, you definitely want to use those codes. When I get my upgrades, I go through Becky from Power Tools with Threads. She also has a link that saves you 10% as well. So, you know, support her as well. Yay. But yeah, they definitely have those nice 10%. I like to wait when they have their little sales to do my upgrades. So you can definitely get that. Okay, so let's try out this one. This one's the pinking blade here. So I'm going to try this out here and see how this one looks like. I have a little rough time kind of starting it out. Not sure if I'm liking this one. Let's start in the middle. And then I'll just turn it to the other side. Probably because of my hand. Okay, I don't see too much of a difference. So this is the pinking edge right here. And this is the other blade that we have, what was just the smaller wave. Almost looks the same to me, not too much of a difference. So, I mean, I guess it's a slight difference to it, but yeah, I think I prefer the smaller wave than the pinking blade. What do you guys think? Let's turn it so you can see it on both sides. Yeah, it's a slight difference, but I'm not too crazy about this one. I think I'd rather use the smaller blade. I really love the large wave. I think that one was the nicest one. I love how this one kind of loops. I think it really represents a stamp kind of, and I can make a lot of things with that one. Is the scoring one for card making? It can be. It doesn't necessarily say that. It just says scoring blade, but let's give that one a go. Let's see how this scores our fabric. And I'm going to do this with the foam underneath, and let's see how well it does. Because sometimes, you know, you've got all these tools and gadgets that are out there, and sometimes they're not that great when you get them. So let's see. Let's see if it's worth it. You've got little scoring pens and pencils that are out there, right? But let's see what this one does. So this one is not going to cut. It's just supposed to score it. So let's see how well it does here. All right, we're changing this one up. Okay. Let me get the foam because we need really something to score. And I want to do it on a fabric that you guys can see it. So we're going to stay with this red one right here. I'm going to lay that nice and flat. I'll put this underneath, but I don't think we're going to be able to see anything with that fabric. But we'll put it underneath here. Okay, so let's just say we had to score something right in the middle there. Let's go ahead and grab this tool to see how this one does. Putting a little bit of pressure. Okay, I had a little issue here in the middle where my fabric came up, but I do see the line and I can feel the indentation of it. Let me show you guys. So can you guys see that line? I think you can see it there. It's got that little indentation, so actually it did pretty good. It did a good job. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. I know if you have the Cricut, let me see if I have it. I don't have it with me, but the Cricut comes with that scoring tool that you put into the machine and it will score. If you're doing like card paper crafting, it does have a scoring tool and it'll score, especially for folds. If you're doing envelopes, anything that's going to require you to bend that, it'll help you to, you know, really get that crease right on the edge. So I guess this would be good if you are going to be folding, right? So let's say we fold this fabric. You can see that it's right on that crease line. So it's actually doing a pretty good job. Can you see that there? So actually I kind of like this scoring one. It's not a bad idea to have it on a rotary so I can really just kind of go around. So if there's something that maybe you want to mark on your fabrics, you can do that with a scoring tool and with the ruler. So let's try this with the ruler. Let me see if I can do a crosshair right on it. Okay. Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. I do feel the indentation on the fabric and you can see the little crosshair there. So it did do a pretty good job. Cindy saying the scoring blade would be useful in my sewing room, marking corners and centers. Yeah, and I think it really did a good job because I can feel the indentation. you can see your scoring line on here. It's a little hard to see it on the camera because it's red fabric, but yeah, you can see it on here. And I think it did a great job. Did that one just put a line? If so, that might be handy to mark quilt lines. Yeah, in fact, I am working on my project, and I'll show you guys in just a second, where I am quilting 1/4-inch seam lines all the way down. And so I've kind of been working on this for a while. A matter of fact, let me just show you those. So let me put some of these blades away because I don't want to accidentally, grab it the wrong way. We don't need any more accidents here, right? We've got enough stuff going on with Mr. H being out and about, and I don't need any more accidents. So let me just put these away really quick. We definitely don't need that, right? So let's kind of put these back where they belong. And I'm going to change out the scoring blade. But you know what? I think this is a really good tool to have. And I'm sure these on Amazon, they've got to have them out there. Again, I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. They had a whole bunch of blades that were on clearance. So I just grabbed a whole bunch of them because who can't use a blade, right? You definitely want to change out your blades as often as you can. Where did you get that set from? Hobby Lobby. From Hobby Lobby. Yeah, there's not too much down here, unfortunately. But they had them in Hobby Lobby and they were just sitting on clearance. So I grabbed a bunch of them. And every now and then you have to check them out because when they start changing things up, they put a lot of things on clearance. And so some of these, they were kind of ranging in price. Some of them were 99 cents, some were $1.49. The regular price on them here is listed at $6.99 on the package. So yeah, it's not something that's tremendously expensive, but it would definitely add to your room here. So you definitely want to check that out if that's something that you can use. So, okay, let me just quickly show you here what I've been working on off to the side. I'm going to probably need that. So let me leave this over here. So here I've got my little, let me unroll the whole thing. Well, actually, I'll put it this way so you can see it. So I hope those are a couple of ideas that you can do with that leftover. So, hope you guys are able to do something and don't be, wasteful and just toss those, because you can definitely make a lot of projects with the scraps from that project there. So on here, if you guys remember our little curved Christmas tree, I have been quilting this with 1/4-inch lines at an angle. And so they are kind of just going out this way. I'm going to put it on the dust cam so you can see the quilting in a second here. Let me move all of the blades out of the way and away from me. Okay. So here's some of the quilting that I've done. And you can see they're just lines, just quarter-inch lines going across. And I started off, and let me flip this over to the other side because I'm now doing the other side here. I started off drawing lines here, and I just do this with a ruler. Very simple. Just going around, and I'm just doing 1/4-inch lines, and I'm just drawing the line as I go down. Okay, so I measure them out. I actually go this way, and I use the prior line to measure the next line. And so I will line up this line all the way across onto that red line at that 1/4-inch mark, and then I'll go ahead and do the line here. And when it comes to this embroidery here, I'm not gonna just, stitch on top of it. I'm going to go around the letters. So you can see on the Y here, I kind of stopped on this end and then I picked up on the other, and it's just going to be a straight stitch that I'm doing here. And it's just going to accent it. Let me flip this part over so you could see it. So here my stitch lines are going up this way, and then I'm just going to mirror that on the other side. And I'm just matching up each of the lines as I go down. And I'll make my way all the way to the bottom. So, you know, it'll take a while. So yeah, now you see why I have the brace on. Yeah, it's a lot of lines. It is. And it's taken a while. Probably a lot longer than I wanted. So yeah, me and Miss Molly were kind of sewing up a storm. And, you know, that's where I got my little kink on my wrist. So yeah. But I do want to finish this up. So I just drew a couple more lines, and then I just kind of go. After a while, I stopped drawing the lines, and I was just using the 1/4-inch foot on the machine to kind of guide it all the rest of the way. But then I kind of went back to it. Matchstick quilting is very tedious. It is. It is. It is. So but it's fun though, you know, and I like seeing how it's kind of just coming together. So yeah, I'm just going to keep on going. I'm hoping by the end of this weekend, this will be completely done. And so it'll have that nice look. I think it really adds a lot to the quilt here. And I think it's going to look fantastic once I'm all done with the quilting. So that's a lot of threads to cut, you know, on the front and the back, just making sure everything's nice and clean and keeping it straight. But what can be a little bit dangerous on this is if you are off just a little bit and you're not marking it with a pen, you can be off by one line, and then your next line, since you're basing your 1/4-inch off of the prior line, if you're off on the prior line, their next line is going to be off as well, and then it's just going to compound all the way down. So it is best to draw the lines. That way you make sure that you are staying on track. And it makes it a lot easier to kind of see that. Now this is erasable, so as soon as I hit it with heat, it will disappear. So I don't like to do the whole thing. I like to do them just in sections. And that way I know that, you know, I don't have to worry about it erasing on me. And then kind of as I go, I kind of stop and then I'll iron it just to have them disappear. And so I can see my results here like this up on the top. So, you know, I'm just going to keep going on this one, and hopefully we'll finish this weekend. So that'll be one of the projects that I'm kind of working to finish up as part of the holidays. So I'm hoping to get this done pretty soon. And then I can just work on the binding and I'll be all done with this. So yeah, lots and lots of stuff going on with that. But I think it's coming out really, really nice. And I think it'll be great in the end. So I really like it. Again, lots of curves. We're all about curves, right? So a lot of curves on this one, and it was fun putting this together as well. So lots of things that you can do, right? Okay. So guys, I know we're getting towards the end of our time here. I just really like, you know, the contrast that the curves have with different items. You know, another thing you can do with that ruler that we were working with to make this quilt, you can then take those curves and put it on that fabric and make like little curves, right? Maybe little star things that you can put. There's so many fun things. You can make little ornaments out of that leftover fabric. I mean, there's just so much that you can do with it. So don't just, you know, have it go to waste, because there's tons of little projects that you can make with that fabric. So either maybe you don't have the time to do it now, you want to set that to the side, or you can just add it on to the gift that you're giving with this little gift bag. So make sure that you use all of the scraps as much as you can, because fabric can be really expensive and you can make all kinds of things with that. Okay, so on this, you know, I just like the contrast that it's giving with the curves and the straight lines, and I think it's going to turn out pretty neat. And I just like how it does that combination, and it really makes the tree pop. So this will be great to kind of finish up. So guys, we're running really low on time. Why don't we go ahead and look at our inspirational quote of the day? Okay, so for today's quote of the day is, handmade holiday gifts are labors of love and become cherished gifts that keep giving. And that's absolutely true for all the handmade gifts that are out there. And you can just cherish them. And I know that the people that you're giving to are going to cherish them as well. And they'll be able to remember you every time they look at the gifts. Okay, so reminder for tomorrow. It is Saturday, and we're going to be opening up more of the Missouri Star Christmas box gifts. So much fun. Excited for that. We've already done a couple of different gifts. If you haven't seen them, some of them included some templates. I have some here on the side here, the little dog and cat template. So many different things that are included in that Christmas box, and they're really amazing. I can't wait to see what is in there for this past week. We're going to be opening a week's worth of gifts that they've already released. So we'll be doing that together, and we'll be taking a look at whatever projects or anything that it has inside. So I'm excited to see what it is. I only open up my gifts on the Saturday on that week. So it's a whole week's worth of gifts that we're going to be looking at, and it's lots of fun. I don't like to peek and I don't like to see what's out there, but I think it's going to be really neat and a lot of fun to do that with you. So I hope you guys are able to go ahead and join me for that. Okay, and for the members, just a reminder, please fill out the form that Mr. H posted in the community. I wanted to go ahead and send out a little something for you guys, but I do need you guys to fill out the form to make sure I have the correct addresses and whatnot. So please go ahead and fill that out for me so that I can get those out to you pretty soon. Yeah, Santa popping in. Yeah, that Santa is just reminding me every few minutes that time is ticking and I need to get these projects done. All right. Yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. All right, guys, I am going to go ahead and get ready because I do have to run off to work, but I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I hope to see you guys here all tomorrow if you're able to join me and watch me open up some of those gifts in the Missouri Star Christmas box. And let's get the ideas flowing because there's so many things that can be done with those items as well. All right, so I will see you again tomorrow. Have a fantastic weekend, and I hope to be crafting with you soon. Bye, everyone.
So long for now, so long. Glad you stayed a while. Hope you liked my crafting style. Hope I left you with a smile. By now, keep your mind and space clutter-free. Hope your day is bright as can be. So long, my friends, till we craft once again. Bye now, stay crafting.